cut to the chase. Everyone give me some space. Don't fall out, we fall into place. Every step walking with grace, amen. Keeping my foot off the brakes. Impact, I'm ready to brace. We fall down and land on our face. Just to get up and finally escape. Wait, boom, boom. Baby, I'm trying to get paid. Legends don't die in a grave. They live through the story they made, okay? Boom, boom. Baby, I'm trying to get paid. Legends don't die in a grave. Hey, legends don't die anyway. I was working on a play today. Body bags covered away. I paved, zipped up like a bathing ape. How many of us then came and stayed? Not too many. I've been staying awake to get it and get right on every mistake. I give them a bite, they taking a plate. It's all been a feeling that I couldn't shake. So I just keep killing till I'm at the gates. We straight, we treat them like worms in a lake. They bake, just give me a drum and a bass. I skate and grind till I'm numb in the face, okay? Don't fuck up my day. Don't talk about clutch, I got ice in my veins. I'm colder than Trey, I stick to the code. I'm glitching the game. I do anything for the win at the end of the day. I gotta cut to the chase. Everyone give me some space. Don't fall out, we fall into place. Every step walking with grace, amen. Keeping my foot off the brakes. Impact, I'm ready to brace. We fall down and land on our face. Just to get up and finally escape. Wait, boom, boom. Baby, I'm trying to get paid. Legends don't die in a grave. They live through the story they made, okay? Boom, boom. Baby, I'm trying to get paid. Legends don't die in a grave. Legends don't die anyways. Boom, boom. Baby, I'm trying to get paid. Legends don't die in a grave. They live through the story they made, okay? Boom, boom. Baby, I'm trying to get paid. Legends don't die in a grave. Legends don't die anywhere.
Feel like Kobe, I'm like Jokic with the rock. You physically couldn't hold me, I don't care if you pushing 40. You can never little bro me. Euro step like Ginobili, from young OG to the OG. From nosebleeds to floor seats. Circle stronger than Cuban links. My gold dance, your gold plated. You verse me, now that's a reach. We ready. Who ready? We ready. Who ready? Who? We ready. Who? Who ready? Who? We ready. Who ready? We ready. Been ready. I waited. My turn. On God. Held steady. I keep dropping back to back. I keep going if you let me. I've been sitting at the top, looking down at those who left me. Promise I'm not being petty. I'm the one they envy. Brody moving state to state. Make $1 million out the semi. Plus I grinded from the start. I was stacking pennies. I might dip like Machiavelli. After the confetti. Who ready? We ready. Who ready? We ready. Who ready? Who? We ready. Who? Who ready? Who? We ready. Who? Who ready? We ready. Who ready? We ready. Who ready? Who? We ready. Who? Who ready? Who? We ready. Who?
Well, hello and good evening, everybody. How are we all doing? And it is Wednesday night, and it can mean only one thing, and that is Aers Championship. And it is no assist, tier 1 this evening, race 1 around Spain, as the title said. So, yeah, looking forward to this one. The qualifiers were absolutely electric. If you missed it, you missed out on a big thing. But you can rewatch it if you would like to over on the commentator channel over on YouTube. But it was absolutely brilliant. And yes, being at oi, darling, how we doing? Hope you well. So, yeah, season opener, first race of the season for tier 1, no assist. Gonna be an interesting one. As I said, the qualifiers were quite close. I think we're gonna have, you know, a few DRS train. Well, one probably big DRS train here at the race this evening. And yeah, very much looking forward to see who comes out on top, who can really dominate this Spain circuit and take that first race win of the season. We'll have a look at the teams and the drivers very shortly. I do have to just kick up my game, so bear with me. But while we're doing this, while I'm just getting the game sorted, let's have a look at the teams and let's see who is driving for who and all the good stuff. So let's have a look. So here is the teams, and there they are. So for driving for All Elite Racing Team, which is they will be in the Alpine this season, and it's going to be Adrian and Swifty. Shazoo Cheddar's Igniters SCI, it's going to be Finley and Emilio. They're going to be driving for the Mercedes team. RSC Esports, they're going to be driving for the VCAB, and it's going to be Misha and Ray. In the Ferrari team, it's AMR Esports, and Dom and Babatunde are going to be driving for them. Sorry, the game just coming over me there. I do apologise. Need to get it on though. But yeah, for Ferrari. So moving on, we've got the Red Bull team, which is Future Racing Team. They've got Lucan and Quantum. Bravo Racing Club will be driving on behalf of McLaren, Ragnito and Emilio. And it seems it has qualifying ban next to their name, so I'm to assume that they might have a qualifying ban for the opening race of the season. Venturi Esports, which is VTN, will have Thomas and Romain DMT, and they will be driving for Williams. International Racing Team, IRT, will be driving for Aston Martin, and Seb and Jaden will be taking on the seats for that team. Anobi Esports, it will be Devil and Ollie. They will be driving in the Haas. And then it's Alien Motorsport, which is AMS. And it's AMS Knight and Mattia Manga. They will be driving for the Kick Sauber team. So, as I said, very much looking forward to this one. Sorry for the F1 game in the background there. But yeah, very much looking forward to it. Let's have a look at the calendar. Moving over to that one, and as you can see, race 1 is Spain. Tell me what you're looking forward to most on that circuit. Me personally, as you know, if you've been a part of the channel for a long time, it's always been Vegas. Is the race that I most enjoy, where I got my first win, to be honest. So yeah, when I was a racer. But yeah, so China. Race 2, I mean, personally, I think this is a really good calendar. I think it's a strong calendar. There's going to be some good racing. Hopefully, we see a lot of side-by-side action, a lot of battling as the season moves on. I'm sure the drivers are very much capable of it. We're probably going to see some team games towards the end. Obviously, teams are going to try and get as many points as they can for their respective teams and try and get them to the top, try and bring home a lot of points. We've got Jay in the chat. Hello, Jay. How's it going? Hope you are well, brother. But yeah, we're going to be getting underway soon, and I'd just like to say thank you for everybody joining me on this opening race of the season. Joining me on this opening race of the season for Aers. It should be a very, very interesting one. As I said, if you didn't join the qualifiers last time out for NA, it was very, very good. I think Silo took the fastest time of the event. Absolutely cracking lap. I think we were on board for it as well, so really, really good lap from Silent. Doing well. I'll be leaving the hospital in... Hang on, Jay, what's happened there? Leaving the hospital, what's happened? Jesus, Jay. But let's look at the track info. Let's have a look at the track info. Let's hope my PC plays games, and it is playing games. So let's have a look at the track info for Spain here this evening. And the first Grand Prix was held back in 1951. Your track length here this evening is 4.65 kilometers. 657 kilometers, sorry. The lap record is held by Max Verstappen. It's a 1 minute 16.330. We're going to see the lads take that apart here this evening. He did that back in 2023. The most pole positions here at Spain is held by Michael Schumacher, with the most wins going to Michael Schumacher and Lewis Hamilton. It's a shared one, that both having 6 apiece here at the Spanish Grand Prix. Pull run to turn 1 breaking point is quite a lengthy one. 595 meters gives the opportunity for some good side-by-side into turn 1. But as we know, that side-by-side action can always cause a little bit of mayhem in league racing. Everybody just trying to take that little bit more of an edge. Could see some contact. Will we or won't we? We'll have to wait and see until the race gets underway. But yeah, I mean, the quality of drivers that we've got racing here this evening, I think we should see a very, very good race. Yes, Gotto, how's it going, sir? The safety car probability, 38%, with your virtual safety car probability being around 25%. That's in real life. I mean, we brought it to light before. You could probably add around I'd say between 5 and 10% to that, to you know, safety car wise and virtual safety car wise. For the racing, how are we this evening? I'm doing very, very well, thank you, Gotto. Very, very well. I'm going to make a little bit of an announcement in a minute as to a few things that have took underway just for me as a commentator at the minute. But your pit stop time loss here at the circuit is 22.2 seconds, and that does include a 2.5 second stop. There are 14 corners with 2 DRS zones here at the circuit. Your first one on the lap goes from just before the start finish down to turn 1, and then from turn 9 down to turn 10. Could see that being an overtaking opportunity. Got to get that turn 7, 8, the run up to the hill to turn 9, carry that pace through down into turn 10. It's not so much an announcement, it's just like a personal little statement from me to some people. So let's recovery time. They want me to make sure everything is well before I leave. But damn. But yeah, for me personally, I have come away from a lot of leagues. I have limited myself just to Aers for this season. As I pointed out last stream, you know, in previous streams, mental health is a big one. I have kind of overrun myself with a lot. It's nothing against the leagues that I have left. I've still stayed in some of them. I have a lot of respect for the people, and you know, and I'll help out where I can. But yeah, as moving forward, for some while, it's just going to be the Wednesdays. I might throw something in on a Friday night just for myself. Maybe on a Saturday. I was thinking of a Saturday night 5s, where we just do 5 lappers on the channel. But it's just finding that time, getting, you know, 100% healthy mind to actually begin all that. But it will be coming, people, so make sure you stay tuned. But yeah, just for a while, and thank you to all the leagues that, you know, I have done comms on. Sorry that I have kind of stepped away, and I hope I haven't let you down, but I hope that you do understand that, you know, mental health is a big thing to me, and I need to keep on top of mine. And yeah, it's just, I've overwhelmed myself, and it's nothing against anybody else, but yeah, thank you so much, and we'll move on to the racing now, and we'll try and get into the lobby. I am on the game. We've got all the quali stuff we need. We've got the script. We've got everything now. We should have a better stream than the qualifiers, even though the qualifiers was absolutely lightning, people. If you missed it, as I said, get over to the YouTube channel and have a watch. It was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And there we go with Grumpy with the invite. Thank you very much, Grumpy. If you're there, hope you are well, sir. He will be the man inviting the players in, overseeing the lobby this evening. And he is a good man as well. Make sure you sort yourself out first, Taz, if you need us. Oh, I know, thank you so much. I mean, I've had like a lot of people reach out and say, you know, it's a shame, but and it is, but you have to take care of yourself first before you you know, you can really commit to stuff. And Aers is where like the Wednesdays are kind of a comfortable, the midweek, do you know what I mean? So Aers is going to be where I'm at for a while. But as you can see, we've got drivers coming into the lobby now. We should be getting underway very shortly. It is short qualifying, followed by 33 laps of this Spanish circuit. What will the weather be like? Are we going to see some rain thrown into the proceedings this evening, or are we just going to have that plain old dry race? For all the comms you've done, so don't worry about taking a step back, because you've done so much for us. Don't feel, I mean, I don't feel bad. I like, it's you know, a little bit of me does, like, obviously you don't want to let people down and stuff like that, but another part of me is like, I've been doing this a long time now, committing a lot of my time towards this, and you know, I've missed out on a lot of gaming, really, me personally as well, and just like took a lot of time away from other things as well. So yeah, I need to make sure I get all that sorted. But thank you for your kind words, people. Thank you for your kind words. We've had a few followers while we've been live. We've got Warthox with the follow. We've had Velquad, Rat Bear, and we've had Shadow. Thank you so much for the follows, gentlemen. Hope you are ready for this one this evening. Thank you for joining us here on the commentator channel with Aers. Also, Grid Finder as well here this evening. Grid Finder, a big part of this. And doing this esports stuff will put you in a bit more... yeah, exactly. I mean, the first stream went absolutely brilliant. And that's thanks to everybody that joined that stream. I think we reached a peak of 58 people watching for quite some time. So I would just like to thank everybody for that. It really was a milestone for me personally, you know, without somebody raiding me. So thank you guys. Thank you. And we had a lot of followers that evening. I think we had like 37 followers join us that evening as well. So a big thank you to each and every one of you. Big thank you. But yeah, should be a very, very, very interesting race. I mean, who's going to come out on top? A lot, you know, drivers, as much as we don't like to admit, we like to admit, you know, we like to be stronger every track. There is that track that you just can't seem to master. And I mean, we may see that over the season where, you know, a driver's doing really well, maybe, you know, in that top 5, and then one race, it just doesn't go well. The racing gods just aren't quite on your side. And you have what we all know as a torrid race, and you know you could have done better, but or you was doing everything that you possibly could, it just didn't go your way. That's the, you know, that's what we're going to see throughout this season. It just because these are top tier drivers doesn't mean they're invincible of that, you know. And it's going to be interesting to see which races, you know, people really do flounder out. Obviously, compared to the tracks that we all know and love, and we love racing ourselves. But yeah, should be an interesting one. Qualifiers were absolutely, like I said, they were absolutely amazing. But the teams slowly but surely making their way in. We've got 4 minutes till the first qualifying of the season, people. The first qualifying. And is this going to set the tone? What do you all think in the chat? Is this going to set the tone for the rest of the season? Who comes out on top? Or is this going to be one hell of a closely fought season where we don't quite know who is going to take that victory at the end? Let me know in the chat. You'll have the drivers that you're here supporting, or maybe you're a driver yourself in the chat. Are you willing to back yourself and say, I'm going to be number 1? But we've had another follow. We've got Jav SRN with the follow. Thank you very much, sir. And welcome in to the commentator channel here with us this evening. And it is the NA Tier 1 season opener at Spain. It was Bahrain, but as we know, Bahrain, a very, very buggy track. Not wanting to take a risk, and I think it was a risk that, you know, the lads 100%, you know, hit out the park. It's not a risk you want to take, ruining someone's race. Aers. Yes, Grumpy. It's the farmer in me. I do. Do you remember? I do remember little Timmy. Aers, I beg. I'm trying. It's the accent, mate. I'm trying. Aers. A-E-R-S letters, alright. Hear it, A-E-R-S. Just say the letters. There we go. I'll remember, Grumpy, I'll remember. Thank you very much, Jeffy, for the follow. Same for all the teams. Right, no worries, Mucker, no worries, no worries. Can you kick SCI Finley from... I'm afraid I can't. I'm sorry, I mean... It's Grumpy's lobby, so I won't be able to do that. Lauren smells. How are we doing, Lauren? £10. If I had the power, I might have actually considered that. Me, who took a little bit of a... Yes, Melwin, another man that stood out in the qualifiers. Absolutely did amazingly. Great lap time. And he's here in the chat. The big man. Max offer is 20. I would have raced, but fan of texted. Oh, damn. It's a shame that we don't see you in this season opener, mate. Honest to God, it really, really is. But look forward, people, to next week, maybe, where the man himself may join us. His qualifying was absolutely brilliant. An honour to watch and to commentate on. Brilliant. Right. Definitely, Melwin. Definitely. We await your arrival, sir. But yeah, grid's filling up. Just awaiting one driver, I think, and then we will be a go here for qualifying. But let's hope for a good race and qualifying session here this evening. It's going to be a close one to see who does take that time. I think it's going to come down to the thousandths of a second who could take that pole position and which team is going to come out on top. But Spain, I mean, is one of them tracks. I think it's one of them tracks that kind of has it all. The ups, the downs, you know, the long sweeping corners, some tight ones. Fast corners, turn 14, you can carry so much pace on the beginning of your laps. As we've got BRC, hi, how are we doing? Bino, how's it going? Well, all the drivers are in now, and I think we will be getting underway very, very shortly. But yeah, good circuit, Spain. I think good choice for it to replace Bahrain, due to all the stuff that was going on with Bahrain, all the bugs and glitches and whatnot. Just make... But yeah, are we going? Are we going, boys? I think this one's likely to get underway. And hang on, and little Timmy as well, hang on. Someone mentioned... do you remember little Timmy? So Timmy, if it is you, Jeffy, I do remember Jeffy. I do remember little Timmy. Have I like that? Yeah, people bashing the button for everybody to get readied up here. But yeah, this season opener is going to be an eye-opener just to see who comes out on top. Who's got the speed here at Spain. And here we go. The countdown is on to the first qualifying of Season 3 here at Aers. Nearly, Grumpy, nearly. At Aers. And who's going to take it? Who's going to come out on top? We've got 10 seconds. Here we go, people. Is rain going to play a part? Are we going to have a clean race? We will find out very shortly as we now make our way into qualifying. Let's see what team telemetry tells us for the weather. Let's see if it gives us any insight whatsoever. Is it going to get it right? I mean, I have had it where it has got it wrong in the past. So, here we go. First qualifying. And we have nothing but sunshine for the qualifying session. It looks like I'll be able to tell if we've got any rain coming once we get in there. But it is short quali, so it'll be coming fast if it does. Just 8 seconds now. And here we go. Let's get the track map up. Let's get all the good stuff up. we go. So, yeah, dry qualifying with what looks like just an overcast race, which could affect the tyre warm-ups on their initial stints, and especially getting off the line. But yeah, first qualifying. Who's going to be first out on the circuit? Who's going to be first to get that lap time in? Yes, Trappy. How we doing, bro? AMS Trappy in the house, watching along. And we do have movement in the pit lane, and it is one of the Haas drivers. I think that may be Ollie. It is. We will jump on board with Ollie for the first lap of the qualifying session here at Spain. Is it going to change the camera angle? There we go. I'm very well, thank you, Trappy. Very well indeed. Very, very interested to see how this one unfolds this evening, to see who comes out on top. Which team is going to take the early lead? Or are we going to see a team, you know, absolutely dominate up at the top? Are we going to see a 1-2 finish from one of the teams? Taking control of the race, leading from the start. Or are we just going to see an all-out dogfight for those points positions? These cam says they're horrible. I really do hope with which I don't think they will. They do try and give us some. I think the helicopter cam is such a great camera for them to use, which they don't utilize enough. I think in the races, I think it would be a camera. It should be a camera that we are allowed to pick ourselves as commentators, and obviously not have it on that all the time because it'd be a bit boring. But there we go. Here goes Olix in the Haas for the first lap of the evening. Are we going to see a time that is lighting up the boards? One that the boys just can't surpass. Through turn 3 he goes. Turn 1, 2 can be very tricky. Can lose a lot of time there. Turn 3 you do have to hug that inside right. Gives you the better exit on the run down to turn 4. How are we doing that? Not too sure. How are we doing that? Here we got the Haas driver throwing it in to turn 9. The DRS for the run down to turn 10. A little bit of traffic in front, but hopefully he doesn't get affected by any dirty air on the back of the Williams there, I think that is. But here he comes through turn 14. Up to the line. What's it going to be for Olix? It's a 111.508 from the Haas driver. Misha getting out of the way. Let's have a look at the Alpine team of Adrian. Adrian in the car. Are we going to... Ooh, big mess up. Caught too much of the sausage there. Quantum moving to the top there for Red Bull with a 111.326, but the Alpine driver making a big mistake on the curb there. There'll be quite a bit of time to gain as they go through them corners. Finley now for Mercedes moving up to the top of 111.141. And the Mercedes driver taking it to Quantum there. Even though Quantum does have the fastest sector 3 between the pair. Finley with the fastest sector 2 and Olix with the fastest sector 1 so far. Let's have a look at the Ferrari driver of AMR Dom. Let's see what he can do as he goes for his first run of the evening. Can he go quicker than the Mercedes driver of Finley? Finley setting a really good lap here. You can see the McLaren team. Early qualifying ban. Will have to start from the back. They've got it all to do in this opening race of the season. They've got to try and make something work. Go for an early undercut. Try and hold the pack up. Really try and get into the points. McLaren have really got to be thinking strategy as this qualifying session unfolds and what is best to do. As we can see, more times come flooding in. The Aston Martin team currently P4 and 5. Jaden and Seb very close to one another. 111.356 for Jaden, 111.378 there for Seb. The Ferrari teammate of Dom still in the pit lane. We've got AMS Knight out on the circuit on an out lap. We've just had RW06, the VCAB driver, move up into P2. Dom goes P11 with a 111.520. Look at how close this is. It's just going to be such fine margins. Swifty with the follow as well. 3 minutes ago. Thank you very much, Swifty, for the follow. But look at the margins already. I mean, Finley has kind of set the standard for the Mercedes team. He really has gone hell for leather with that lap. Nearly 2/10 clear of RW06 there in the VCAB. But Knight into turn 4. Sector 1. Good sector 1 there from him. Moving through into sector 2. Now comes the Kick Sauber driver. Still a few cars yet to put a lap in. We've got a Williams and the Ferrari. Mattia Manga in P8 currently. Can Knight go quicker than his teammate here? Only really got the Aston Martin team that are going to have a great opportunity to try and control this race. Maybe control a few positions as we get F1 25 League with the follow. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for joining us here for the first qualifying session of the season at NA Tier 1. And Knight moving up into P4 there with a 111.346. And as I said before, it's such fine margins as we've got the Alpine of Adrian out earlier, trying to go again. Knows there is time to make in that middle sector for the Alpine driver. FVR Adam with the follow as well. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us here for this qualifying session with AERS and the NA Tier 1 Championship. Finley back out on a lap. We'll jump on board with Finley. He's just moving into sector 2 there. So after Adrian, we'll drop back to Finley to see if he's improving, see if he's going quicker. Has he just got the secret sauce here for Spain, the Mercedes driver, or is somebody, any driver, going to try and take that top spot away from him? As I think the Alpine going for another warm-up lap there, so we'll drop back to Finley. We got Daddy 007 with the follow as well. Thank you very much, sir, for the follow. Thank you for joining us here. And lads, don't be scared to say hello. Let's go, Finley, says Lauren in the chat. Let's go, Finley. Let's go. Can he go quicker here? Could he potentially move into the 110s? Has he got the ability to do so? Here he goes, the Mercedes driver on his second run of the evening. And can he keep it on the top spot? Let's go, as in crashing though. Lauren with the flip reverse there. But looking clean through the lap so far. Turns 1, 2, and 3 looking very clean for the Mercedes driver. And you can tell it was clean. He's gained time. Oh, but going through turn 4 there. Nearly losing the back end. That could have lost him the time that he gained. I think it probably lost him quite a bit of time, to be fair. Really struggling to keep the back end stable on the exit of turn 4 there was the Mercedes driver. Let's watch for the sector 2 split. It's coming up just before turn 10. And yeah, lost around a 10th, I think, to his time. But he's not got any worries as of yet. We'll move down to the VCAB driver, who's currently P2 of RW06 as Jaden there for IRT goes up into P2 for Aston Martin. And let's have a look at the VCAB here. Into the DRS zone on the run down to turn 10. Can he reclaim He's 2/10 up. Could this be enough for provisional pole for the V-carb driver? Can he keep it together? Only a couple of corners to go. Through turn 13 he goes. It's into 14. Nice exit. Good speed to the fit. And it's a 111.064. He moves into provisional pole. It's the V-carb driver of RW06 in at the top spot. That's a good lap, but he's still got another lap. We're going to see more laps here. We could see people going quicker. Let's have a look at Quantum. Quantum did well in the qualifiers. Really did very well. So let's see what he can do. Can he move to the top? We've seen RW06 gain a lot of time to their previous lap. Can Quantum do it here for Red Bull? Lucan in at P4. They are close, but are we going to see a team that is very, I hope we do, that try and work together, try and take the fight in the race? Missed the Sector 1 split there from Quantum because we were too busy talking, but come on. There's Knight. Now, we've got quite a lot of drivers on track. Haas down in P12 and 13, very close to one another. Adrian in the Alpine moves up into P2. The lap times are getting quicker and quicker. Quantum up nearly 0.2 of a second here. He has to gain more in Sector 3 as we get Jaden with the high. Hi, Jaden. How's it going? Hope you're well. Hope you're enjoying this qualifying. It's going to come down to the wire. It's going to come down to that final race as we get AMS Ramon in the chat. But here he comes, Quantum to the line. He does improve. It's enough for P3 with a 111.137 there from the Red Bull driver. And let's try and see if we've got a driver on a lap. Wardy still not hit the circuit as of yet for Ferrari. Could that hinder the team in trying to get a really good points haul here this evening? You want both drivers as high up as you possibly can to really get them points for the Constructors' Championship. But drivers moving into the pits now. We're moving into the final runs. Jaden and Seb 1-2 incoming. Let's see it. Let's see it, Jaden. Aston Martin shouting out in the chat saying they're going to be going 1-2. Just keep an eye on the Aston Martin team. But yeah, everybody moving into the pit lane now. Going to be getting ready, psyching themselves up for that final run. Ward has hit the circuit, so let's see what he can do. So, current fastest sectors belong to. So, Sector 2 belongs to Adrian. Sector 3 belongs to Matty Manga. And then Sector 1 belongs to Ollie. Ollie still the quickest in Sector 1 with a 21.186. Adrian with Sector 2 with a 28.671. And then, as we said, it was Matty Manga with a 21.125 for Sector 3. They are using the strats I gave them. Let's hope so. Let's hope so, Jaden. Let's hope so. Grumpy, yeah, Mad should be 1-2, but someone left. But here we go. Wards with probably the one and only lap here in qualifying. They've got to put in a banger. I think, no, actually, they have been out, it looks like, but the time maybe had been invalid. It was a 111.521. As we get Chris, did McLaren double QB already? I think they had a qualifying ban, which sent them out. IRT domination incoming. Let's hope so. But Wards into Sector 2 now. Gotta get a cracking time here in here, Wards. Looks like a clean lap from the Ferrari driver so far. Very clean. A 50.128 for the Sector 2 split there. Go back to bed, old boy. But here he comes. Just 2 corners to go now for the Ferrari driver. What are we going to see lap time-wise from Wards? It's around the final corner. It's up to the line. And it's a 111.418. The Ferrari driver moving into P14. And that is going to be all she wrote. So Aston Martin saying that they're going to be 1-2. Let's go on board with the IRT team. And we're on board with Jaden. Can he take one of the seats that Jaden has said in the chat? Let's watch along. Thank you, Smeggy, for the follow, sir. Massively appreciated. The pressure is on the Aston Martin team now. He's going to be first across the line as well. Oh no, Adrian has started their lap. But we'll put the light on the Aston Martin team. Let's see if they can handle the limelight. As we're in the final runs of qualifying. And VCAB, RWO6 holds the top spot. It's going to be fine margin these positions. So let's buckle up and watch Jaden go for his final run of the evening. He would have time to go again, I think, if he does make that mistake through Sector 1. I think you've got to commit if you're halfway through Sector 2 as Jaden with the follow. Thank you very much, sir. Massively appreciated. And there we go. So Jaden losing time in set turns 1 and 2. Backed out early there to go for another run. Let's have a look at Adrian. I think Adrian also doing the same. Not gone well in the lap. Now just trying to keep the temperature in the tyres. Let's have a look at Finley though. Finley looking to move back up to the top. He did set the standard on the first run. And then it was RWO6 who went for it once again. Calculated. Definitely for that track evolution. But Finley getting on with it. And he is going through turn 9, down to turn 10. Let's watch for the Sector 2 split. Has he gained any time? And he is up nearly a 10th and a half. That will see him to the top spot. Yep, like a car. Yep, definitely. As we get RSC, Caden with the follow. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for joining us. Aston Martin, round the... Mercedes, sorry. Round the final corner, and it's Finley to P2. Look how close it is. RWO6, though, has lost time through Sector 1. But can still gain time in Sectors 2 and 3. Okay, the boot is here too. Here we go. Through turn 9, down to turn 10. He's engineering, sweet. And no, still not gained any time. As RWO6 is so close. Look how close it is. Seb's come across the line. Let's have a look at Jaden. He was claiming a P1 or a P2. VNT Thomas with a 110.999. It's Williams to the top spot. What a lap from the Williams driver. He's come out of nowhere in this qualifying session. Moved up into that top spot. Jaden over a 10th up. He needs more now. He's got to find it in Sector 3, sorry. He's got to have a bucket load of time here to try and take this top spot. Here he comes through turn 13. The Aston Martin driver now through the final corner. Here he comes up to the line. Has he improved? It's Jaden to a 111.113. It's Aston Martin P5 and 6. But the talk of qualifying, it is the Williams driver of Thomas who has put it on the top spot out of nowhere there, people. Literally pulled that one out of the bag on the final run. And VNT start P1 here. His teammate down in P14. Could he kind of be a cork in the bottle when it comes to the race? Try and get out in front of RWO6. But that was a very close qualifying. But Thomas just absolutely smashing it out the park with that final run of his for the Williams team. Massive GGs to him. That was an absolutely phenomenal lap from the Williams driver. cracking. And you know what? I think through all that, Ollie still held the fastest Sector 1. Nobody beat his Sector 1 in that qualifying session. So it looks like he might have the pace through Sector 1. Maybe able to put a few cars under pressure, gain a few positions. But there we go. VNT Thomas, P1. It's V-Carbon at P2, Finley at P3. Adrian 4, Jaden 5, Seb 6, Quantum 7, Lucan in at 8, Matty Manga in at 9, Knights P10, Devil is 11, Ryan 12, Misha in at 13, we've got Romain in at 14, Ward's in at 15, Ollie 16, and I do apologise, didn't quite get through the rest there, but good track position, yep, I mean, very, very good track positions for a lot of the teams. I think Aston Martin probably in, and there's no rain coming, people. It's just very, very overcast. So track temperature going to be a bit of a pain in the ass for the drivers here, I think. It's looking very overcast. As we get Alejandro, I hope I pronounced that right, with the follow in the chat. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for joining us here for this season opener with Aers. And the Williams driver taking pole, VNT Thomas, taking pole position with a 110.999. Brilliant. But yeah, I think Aston Martin probably in a really strong position here to get a good qualifying. Well, some good race points. They qualified really well. They qualified next to one another. Can they make it work in the race? Can they really push forward and try and control this race? Maybe even try and get up into the podium positions. Like I said, it was very, very close with the times. Not much split in the grid at all. It was just over half a second splitting the entire grid here in qualifying. So it shows that the racing is going to be very, very, very close. And it's going to be a very, very interesting battle to see who comes out on top. Go see Devils, please. I do apologise. I will be checking in with all the drivers throughout the season. Do not worry, but I do apologise. Papi Chulo. We'll make sure to get in on them next week. And we'll check in on them in the race. But yeah, looks like it's going to be interesting start, tyre warm-up wise. Are we going to see the guys maybe go for the mediums and try and finish on the hards due to that? Like, I think the track temperature is going to be very low, as well as the air temperature, so it could cause a bit of trepidation for the drivers on them opening laps, just getting the tyres up into temperature and really being able to maybe go on the attack in the DRS zones. Turn 10, we're probably going to see a lot of action. Turns 1. And, I mean, I think there's definitely quite a few opportunities to do some overtaking. Into Turn 4, there's a couple of angles that you can take. You do see people, if they get a good exit against the person who's in front of them, trying to go for it on the exit of Turn 3 into Turn 4. But here we go. The race is underway. It's the season opener here for 80. No, it's not. It's a... Is that a formation lap? No, it's not a formation lap. We are underway. Sorry, the game's never done that for me before. But here we go. The Williams driver. Great start there as they all move through Turn 1. A couple of positions being lost. I think Seb, Quantum tried going for the move on Seb there into Turn 1 and 2, but didn't quite make it work. And there's got to be a lot of teamwork going on here throughout the teams. The Williams driver, the V-Carb driver, and the Mercedes driver, P1, 2 and 3, have got it all to do on their own. They really have got to go for it. The top 4 really have got to hold their own. Really, really do. But here we go. Into the race we go. And a good opening lap here. Everybody just settling in. Someone losing positions there. And it's the Haas driver of Devils. Devils is off. And an early casualty on lap 1 here of Devils moving all the way to the back. Really does have to try and work hard now to catch the back of this pack. But Thomas great start, great launch off the line to hold on to that P1. I think they all went off, you know, kind of equally, but Thomas did really get the jump. So, first lap over and done with, as we get a bit of battling going on side by side there. As you can see, I think that is Misha and Romain. And it looks like we've got the Alpine of Wards having a little go on the Ferrari there. And he gets through. Little bit of contact between the pair, but it's to be expected. The Ferrari looking slow through turn 1 and then into 2. The Alpine driver really trying to take the opportunity and went for the move. There was a bit of contact. AMS Knight trying to make moves. He split the Red Bull team. And is on the back of Quantum. You can see Aston Martin really, they just need to kind of hold on to this position now and watch the fights unfold. You know, try and have a little look, try and take the opportunity when the battles, when the opportunities arise. Look for the squabbles, try and sneak through. As we're moving on to the end of lap 2 here, and I mean, oh, we've had a Mercedes driver and a McLaren driver, I believe, moving back. They've been fighting it out. Let's go, Thomas, says Skull in the chat. As AMS Knight with the fastest lap, did gain a position on that as well. So AMS Knight looking quite quick here as we get Emilio with the fastest lap, taking it away from Knight there. But they still lead through as this team, as Seb going for the move, and Seb moving up into P4. Finlay making a mistake through turns 1 and 2, I think, and then just the lack of pace through there. The Aston Martin driver, he had to take the opportunity, he had to pounce. And now he's on the back of the podium positions. Can his teammate follow him through? Can he take the opportunity against the Mercedes driver like Seb did? But still, one hell of a DRS train here going on. Devils did really well to catch up. Would have had to lose a lot of ERS, but now they're in that DRS train. Probably back up to 100% by now with the modes that they'll be using. These guys really do know how to switch it on and off the DRS modes to gain the DRS, which Tom will be using. Thomas up at the front to try and maintain the lead, uses the DRS. But it's all going to be about strategy now. The top 3 really do have to think about strategy. They're on their own. The teammates are outside the top 10. So they've got to watch. Keep an eye for when the other teams decide to pit, because if one of them throws an early pit stop, especially Aston Martin team, as Seb was having a little look at Adrian. Seb is looking rapid here for Aston Martin. He's taking no prisoners. And he's down the inside of the Alpine. The Alpine pushing wide. Well, didn't push wide. They just washed a bit wide. And looks like the Aston Martin team are taking no prisoners here. Especially Seb. He is making big moves for Aston Martin. As we get Jaden with the W's in the chat. Can he keep it up? I think with the pace he's showing, he's definitely got a shot at a podium here. IRT Jaden, though, hasn't really been able to make the moves as his teammate has. Not been able to follow him through. Just kind of been sat in behind Finlay. As this helicopter cam is absolutely brilliant. Let's have a look a bit further back, see who's battling out. Are we going to see any moves? Nope, nobody having a look at an overtake. My go. Star driver so far here in the opening race of the season. I think Seb has really shown that no matter if it is a DRS train, there is opportunities to overtake, and he has took those opportunities early for Aston Martin, and he's on the podium. He is on the podium. Why did we come away from him? He is absolutely putting on a show of his own here, is the Aston Martin driver. Overtake after overtake, and it goes to show it's not all about qualifying pace. it doesn't, you know, it counts there. I mean, Thomas wouldn't be P1 if it wasn't for his qualifying. But it shows that race pace can count for something, and Seb's is looking absolutely electric. Is he going to try and go on the attack into turn 1 against another driver? Is he going to put VCAB under pressure? Here he goes. He's having a little look, but nothing doing there. Just has to settle back in. Let's come off him for a little bit. Let's see if there's any action moving a bit further on. Just looks like it's kind of settling down. I mean, Seb is the only driver that's made moves, I think. Pretty much. AMS Knight has gained a couple of positions. He's split the Red Bull team after, I think it was a mistake from Luca. McLaren have managed to gain a position against Mercedes. They're up to P18 and P19, but still just stuck there. And as I said, this is just going to boil down to strategy. This opening stint, you usually don't see any action, but Seb has really, you know, ripped up the script on that one and really has gone for it in these opening laps. It's usually that second stint. It's all about the strategy now. I'm sorry, I get plagued by the hiccups every time I do commentating, so just bear with me. But the strategists for the team managers and stuff like that, if they're there with the team, they're really going to be thinking about when is the best time to pit now. Are they going to go for an undercut? And I think personally, the team that should go for that undercut at this moment in time is probably Aston Martin. They're looking quicker than he's looking quicker than the drivers in front of him, Seb. He is looking like he could really put Thomas under pressure. He's putting the VCAB driver of RW06 under a lot of pressure here. I mean, he's handling it well, you know, dealing with Seb's pace, but I think if they manage to throw the undercut, I think Seb could control the race from there, but it's how they do it. Oh, damn, for a season. Go on. Legend within the drivers. I mean, there's a lot of great drivers here. They've probably all done wonders in their own respective ways in where they've raced. They wouldn't be here if they hadn't all the, you know, the teams brought what they felt was their best drivers. And here they are. So another lap unfolds. And not much doing. We are seeing, you know, they're staying within range, but there's a bit of separation. You can see people cooling their engines, just pulling out a little bit. And it's going to be about tyre management now, this as well. You know, Spain. You know what? I haven't done comms on a Spain race for quite some time, so I can't even remember what the strategies are going to be. As we get Daddy 007 with Let's Go, Adrian in the chat. As there he is in at P4. Good qualifying from Adrian as well. And like I said, he's another driver that's just having to hold his own, as his teammate does have a time penalty as well. And he's all the way down in P14. So just that top, you know, them few drivers up at the top just got it all to do on the own. I was meant to write this. Okay. But I tell you what, Thomas really doing well out in front, controlling this race, controlling the pace. RW06 really isn't going on the attack. I think Seb has decided to kind of just settle down for a little bit. It would have, you know, took a little bit out of the tyres, maybe a little bit more than what Thomas and RW06 took out of theirs, you know, in those initial laps. He knows he needs to just settle in now to stay with these boys, as, you know, them overtakes, they do tend to bring a little bit more where you're having to push that little bit harder. But yeah, only driver so far to have a time penalty is Ryan in the Alpine. We've got a couple of drivers that have picked up warnings. Dom very close to picking up a 3-second time penalty. He's got to be very careful. So's Devils. Devils has got a warning. Oh no, there's a small collision. So let's have a look at what's going on back there. Devils and Dom have had contact, as we see Reganetto against Dom. Oh, there's a bit of contact. Just, I think Dom maybe have lost the Ferrari just a little bit there, but the hard compounded tyres now, they're going to be coming into their own. The hards should be the quicker tyre, and that's something that we didn't check. What tyres people were on, and there's only Dom on the hard compounded tyres, so taking a risk trying to go longer than everybody else. Going different on the strategy is the Ferrari driver. His teammate currently P13. So McLaren just stuck. I mean, the DRS. Oh, Seb, he's having a look. Just not close enough. I think RW06 did have a poor turn 4 there, but managed just to keep his nose in front of Seb. Seb sensed the opportunity, could see it there, but just wasn't close enough. Just didn't quite have the pace to get that move done. You can see Finley there. He's always pulling out, cooling the car down, just getting some cold air across his car. But his pace really kind of showing a bit now. He needs to gain some positions. Has lost a few in this opening stint, so really does need to work hard to get them back. Does the Mercedes driver, and ran a bit wide on the exit there. Did he? I think he may have just picked up a warning there, so needs to be careful. Few drivers needed to be careful as we've got early pit stops. As we've got Knight and Misha in the pits already. And I think Knight will be moving on to a set of the hard compounded tyres. Yep, onto the hards now. And they will look to finish the race on these hard compounded tyres. Let's see how many positions it kind of gets them. Can they get a good undercut on the drivers that they went in before? But Red Bull in at P7 and 8. Some good points for them. You know, Aston Martin probably going to pick up the juicy amount of points here for the constructors. Going to be a great start if they can hold on to these positions. Both Jaden and Seb. Could be a cracking result for the Aston Martin team in this opening race of the season. But the other teams, they really do got to work hard. Red Bull are going to get a decent amount of points. As Seb called it. Oh, is it going to be? Oh, he timed that perfectly, I feel there, Seb. Probably was bang on or just under the speed limit there. But the pit stops have started. And Seb, I said he had to do it. I said he needed to go for that early undercut. And now, is he going to get that undercut done? Thomas and RW06 know that they have to push. But it's kept Adrian. Adrian's now having to push. He's outside the DRS range here. Can he close that gap back up? He's got to push on the exits of these corners to really get back within DRS range. I just don't think he's managed it there. And you can see, I think Thomas and RW06 really pushing on this in-lap to try and keep the lead in front of Seb. We'll jump back down to Seb, see if he comes out in front. But I'm sure all these drivers that have stayed out are going to be looking to pit now. Apart from Dom, currently sat in P10. He's the only driver that started on the hard compounded tyres. And here's Tom and RW06 in the pit lane. Let's jump down to Seb. Where is it? He is currently making his way through turn 10, into 11, into 12 he comes. Has he got the pace? He's going to be pushing that Aston Martin through every single one of these corners. Here we go. Can he get it done? Is he going to come out in the lead of the race? The Aston Martin driver, he's blasting down the start-finish straight. And is he going to get RW06? They're side by side into turn 1. There's contact. There is contact between Seb And it was RW06 who's lost positions due to that now. He's all the way down in P9. And that is so unfortunate. Good battle there. Seb was going to have the better traction through turns 1 and 2. He had the warmer tyres compared to the V-Carb driver. But Quantum and Luca, the Red Bull drivers, have decided to stay out. Who's going to pit first? And it is Lucan. He will jump into the pits first, and Quantum will stay out on the track. Wants the fastest tyres for the end of the race. Does the Red Bull driver. But yeah, I wouldn't like to call who was at fault there. Spectate the battle. I spectated the battle. We stayed on board with it, bro. But yeah, Quantum still up at the top. Let's move down. Let's find where Seb is. Currently in at P5. He's right on the back of Thomas. Now, are we going to see him really push Thomas? BRT, you didn't. I watched both of them go through turn 1 and 2. That was the battle. Anyway, Seb now on the back of the Williams driver. Can he do what RW6, I mean, probably didn't want to do? Was just the battle continued through Sector 2. What, between the pair of them? How could it have done when he spun? How could it have done when RW06 spun? He went sideways. But never mind, never mind. We continue on. Emilio is in the pits now for McLaren. Quantum still staying out, and Dom. It's to be expected by Dom. Dom will be going out longer than anybody else. He is on the hards. The only driver opting for the hard compounder tyres as we get Dirk with the follow. Thank you very much, sir. Massively, massively appreciated. But I don't see how that battle went through Sector 2 when RW06 was sideways. I think you mean it may have been battling somebody else. But yeah. Show tyres, please. Yep, I will indeed. And there we go. So, Quantum going 14 laps on the mediums. Dom also 14 laps on the hard compounder tyres. Lucan and Romant, well, Emilio's on the freshest tyres of them all so far. Yep. Quantum really trying to push the mediums for as long as he possibly can. There are the ages. So there you go. There are the tyres. So obviously Quantum going to lose some positions due to staying out a bit longer than everybody else. We get Dan Dave with the follow. Thank you very much, sir, for the follow. I'm just wondering, can Quantum make it work with the tyre diff? He's going to have the, I mean, at least 3-4 lap pressure tyres. I think it's than I think anybody really. So it's just trying to gain the positions from there. He has had to sacrifice a lot of like track position to stay out as long as he has. He's still come out in front of his teammate, which kind of helps. You know, he's not going to be stuck behind his teammate on older tyres. But he has got to start making moves. He has got to start putting pressure on early as Quantum to try and gain as many positions as he can. And this is the stint now where we are going to see the action. We are going to see drivers trying to go for it, trying to use that ERS, put the driver under pressure into the corner, try and force a mistake from the drivers in front of them. AMS Knight, though, did really, really well. P4 early. He went in a lap earlier and managed to jump all the way up, even getting in front of Adrian, who was P4 before the pit stops. So, yeah, very, very good undercut there from Knight as Seb has gone for the lead, but technically the lead of the race there against Thomas. And it's been, I mean, it's been coming from the Aston Martin driver. His pace has looked absolutely lightning from start to finish, from the start of the race. Qualifying, great pace, very close. But the race pace in this Aston Martin has been absolutely lightning from start to finish. As we get Jav in the chat. The race director ref. But I don't quite know what you mean there, Jav, but Dom staying out, the drivers are catching him. Dom's going to be on rapid mediums, and that's going to be the place where we see him try and gain some positions. I think he's going to be right off the back of probably all the drivers. He's got it all to do on that final stint on the mediums. Probably going to leave it till around lap 20, 21, till maybe even longer, 22 on the hards. Or is he going to try and stretch them as long as possible? As we see Tom, they're switching up at the front now. You're probably going to see this till the end of the race. Them both battling, using that ERS and DRS to hold on to the lead of the race to overtake loads of guys. It really will be hard. The DRS train has been very, very strong. And I mean, like I said, we've only seen Seb really attack the grid. He made some great moves in the opening stint. Oh, yeah, without fail. GG, JG, thank you for the follow. And yeah, I completely agree. He's been the absolute ace driver in this race. But can Quantum try and go for the move on Mattia? Very close. But again, the DRS train just too strong. And it's keeping Quantum at bay. Not being able to use the tyres as he thought he would. Yeah, the train is too long. Yeah, definitely. But I think AMS Knight has probably been the biggest gainer from the pit stop phase. Biggest gainer for Kicksalver. He's in shot for a podium when I think he started like P8, P7, P8. He was behind the Red Bulls. So I think, yeah, but I think the P8 or P9. So cracking, this is going to be a cracking result for Knight if he can hold on to this. He's got 1 lap age difference to Seb, and then I think it's 2 laps obviously to Thomas. So he's in good company. You know, Adrian might be able to really put him under pressure near the end of the race. With just that, I think Adrian may have the 1 lap tyre difference. So yeah, since Emilio and the other Emilio are gaining several tenths. I mean, yeah, I mean, Emilio, the McLaren, is pretty much flying. 3-second time penalty though, that might be why. So the McLaren driver picking up the 2nd time penalty of the evening. Joining Ryan now in the time penalty squad. Are both doing amazing. They're having the races of the evening. Absolutely races of the evening. It's been a bit of a shame for Finley. You know, he lost a couple of positions off the start for Mercedes. And really, you know, hasn't been able to get them positions back. He's just been kind of stuck there. That's what, I mean, you seen how close qualifying was. It's going to be them final couple of laps. The guys now are in tyre save mode. It's tyre save time to try and save as much tyres as they can to go on the attack in them final few laps as Reganetto gets a 3-second time penalty there. So the McLaren team, 3-second time penalties, not going to be good for them at the end of this one. Could see them both P19 and 20. They did have qualifying bans though, so they did have to start from the back. But yeah, RW06, he could have been on the podium, but contact as we get Dom now into the pits. Show me the tyres. Yeah, Dom now into the pit lane. There are his tyres. I'll leave them on for a lap. But yeah, Dom moving on to the mediums. He's got 12 laps on those mediums. He'll have a lighter car. The other guy, I mean, we've seen Quantum take them 14, so we know the life's there. But can Dom use them and really go on the attack? You can see he's coming quite some distance out of the pits behind Emilio. But yeah, the driver on the youngest stage tyres there is Quantum. But as we said, he's just not being able to use them. Once, I think Quantum is going to be able to use them near the end of the race. He's got like a 5-lap difference, 4-lap difference. No, his biggest gap is a lap, but Emilio's down in P19. So in and around him, he's got like four laps. Max 2 laps on the drivers around him. So he really can hopefully go for it at the end and try and put use to them 5-lap extra better tyres than the drivers in front of him. So Ryan now with another 3-second time penalty. That's 6 seconds of time penalties. That's going to see him drop all the way to the back at the end of this one. Ryan just not with it. He's having a good race, P12, but track limits are not his friend here at Spain. But AMS Knight doing a cracking job so far. P3. And I know Thomas won qualifying, but I think if we was to call the race here and now and say who deserved it, Seb. As Quantum has actually gone for a move on Misha, has managed to get past there. So Quantum now trying to start to make moves. If he can get the moves done nice and easily and quickly, he could be in with a shot of fighting at a podium. He would have the freshest tyres out of a lot of them and be able to put them under pressure. And that pressure can cause mistakes. Can you swap so we can see tyres? I've literally just shown them. You want me to keep them on, Melvin? Is that what it is? You may have just missed it, but I'll keep them on if you want me to keep them on. I think it just takes up a bit more screen. Yeah, keep it. All right, bro. So Dom there with the fastest lap of 1:13.823. The Ferrari driver, he is on the move, but he's got a lot of work to do. He's catching Emilio, the Mercedes driver, every corner. He is gaining and gaining and gaining. So there's the prediction from JG. He thinks that Seb will win. Thomas P2, Knight P3. Let's see. Upper VNT says Jay Wizzy. How we doing, Jay? As we get action in the background there. It's Red Bull versus Kick Sauber. The Kick Sauber coming out on top. But is Lucan going to have a little look into turn 10? He goes for the launch down the inside. Contact between the pair. There's contact in the background as well between the Williams and the Haas driver. But it just settles back down there. Now, bit of a gap forming. There's 2 DRS trains now. One led by Luca for that P10 position. And then Misha is at the back of the fight for P1. As Mateo and Luca going side by side again. This battle continues. Devils goes sliding through there in the Haas. Finally, damage. Have we got damage on one of the cars? Finley damage. Hang on. He does. Finley with wing damage there. Don't quite know what's happened there. We have missed that. There's been quite a bit of action going on in the background with the Kick Sauber and the Haas. The Haas of Devil making moves. Lucan is dropping positions though here as we get a yellow flag, and that is Emilio off the circuit, losing positions. But Finley with the damage, and he has got to try hard now to hold on to that P5. We know how quick RW06 is, And if he senses any sort of damage or knows about the damage, he's going to try and put Finley under pressure into the corners. But Lucan lost a few positions there. As Jaden has dropped a position, RWO6 has managed to get past. Yeah, wing damage, front left. End plate missing off of Finley's Mercedes. I tell you what, he's still doing quite well, but we've seen RWO6's pace in that first stint. Very, very good. Stuck with Thomas. So, you know, is he just going to wait for that final lap to try and put him under pressure? I mean, if I was RWO6, I'd be looking to put him under pressure early and try and fight for that podium at the end. He's still got 2 drivers to pass to try and get back onto that podium, which he would have been on if it weren't for the contacts between Seb. I think, for me, that's a turn 1 incident. I don't think anybody is at fault there. I think he left... It looked like Seb left enough space, but I think the cool tyres of RWO6 didn't favour him through turn 1. Just caught him lacking a bit. That's my my side of things. I'm not saying that he was at fault. I just think that, you know, the tyre temps weren't there and he may have just caused him to drift a little bit. So Finley with it all to do for Mercedes with that wing damage. Quantum still in at P8. 3-lap tyre difference to the drivers in front of him. And it just looks like he just can't use it. The DRS train is too strong. As we get... Is that Jaden? Jaden trying to put RWO6 under pressure here. RWO6 has made a mistake. And he's outside the DRS range now to Finley as well. So the Aston Martin driver, he's got to make the move here. He's got to go on the attack. Here we go. As Jaden got the skills to throw it around the outside. RWO6 has had contact with an Aston Martin before. Has minor contacts there. But Jaden now moving into P5 after RWO6 has a sketchy sector 2. And now moves up into P5. Aston Martin having an absolute flyer here at Spain. And it looks like RWO6 is feeling the pressure from Quantum. Quantum with the tyre difference. Can he go for the move into turn 1? RWO6 will be using that ERS. The VCAB team trying to hold on there, and Quantum's round. Quantum losing positions due to contact with RWO6 once again involved in contact. And I think RWO6 relinquishing the position there to Misha. So Misha now up into P6. It looks like RWO6 is going to try and hold off the rest of the pack. So his teammate, but the kick Sauber of Mattia having none of it, goes for the move. It's getting hectic now as we're in lap 27. The Haas driver trying to follow. There's more contact and there's more wing damage. This is getting out of hand. 3-way, we've got more damage. You can see it all unfolding here, people. Lap 27 and it's all going to pot. Egos pop out as we see the Alpine going on the attack in the background there against the Red Bull. It's side by side. They're going 2 by 2 through these corners. As you can see, the battle continuing between the Williams there, and the Williams of Roman moves through against RWO6. RWO6 made up so many positions and has since lost them all again, and is now looking at P10 and also a 3-second time penalty as Ferrari of Wards has just gone past Adrian was in such a good position as well. I mean, in that first stint, you'd have thought that's how the grid was ending. But this second stint, as we all know, has really spiced up the race here at Spain. And it's looking like, if we didn't get damaged, Dom would have done a crazy overcut. As Dom now has damage as well. God knows who's going to be held accountable for this. There was a lot of action, and look at it all just backing up. And here we go, the Haas trying to have a little look down the inside on the Alpine. Adrian just trying to defend here. The wing damage is it's just too much. They really are struggling now. The tyres aren't there. With the damage, it's making it more difficult for the drivers to stay on circuit, to hold on to the positions. I mean, Quantum, he doesn't have wing damage, but lost positions down to P10. After contact with RW06, it's going to be a name I think the stewards see a few times here this evening, potentially, as we get a McLaren pass there. And is that a retirement on track? That can't be a retirement on track, can it? So let's get back up to the racing up at the top, and these laps now, they're going to get interesting. This is where we'll see the battling unfold. You can see Jaden having a little look on Finley. He knows that that is a wounded Mercedes and that the Aston Martin team could be picking up bountiful points here at this opening race of the season. It's all been about Aston Martin, this Spain race. Seb has done absolutely brilliantly. Kick Sauber of AMS Knight has done absolutely brilliantly. Went for the undercut, pulled it early, and look at the position he's in. He's in shot of a podium. As Seb trying to have a little look on Tom. What am I watching? You're watching F1 League Racing. And in the second stint, it's where it all happens. And it has all happened. And you can see it. Drivers just starting to have little looks, trying to find tiny weaknesses in the drivers in front of them. Egos exploding, says Melvin. Shit hit the fan quite fast. Yeah, it did. But hey, I tell you what, I enjoyed it. It was good for commentators to watch. It got spicy. But yeah, I think Dom could have done damage on them mediums. He had some good pace. But just, I think he got caught up. I think he got caught up in the mayhem. Can Aston Martin walk away with a with a podium and a P4? Or has Seb got the pace, I mean not Seb, Jaden got the pace to try and challenge Knight? 3-lap tyre difference. He does need past Finley quick though. Does Jaden. He needs to do it on this lap or the next lap. As we get Zach Clark with the follow. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for the follow. Massively appreciated. But yeah, just not much going on now. I thought we was going to have one hell of a DRS train all the way through this, but mistakes made from drivers. I think I mean, I don't want to badmouth him, but it all started. It was a snowball effect from RW06, his contact with Quantum, that kind of caught that lap, that really did unfold that lap 27. I think that'll be a lap everybody remembers from this stream, lap 27. Hopefully it's okay next week. Hey, I'm enjoying it. I bet everybody else is as a fan, really. Of the hard battling that we've seen. The mistakes, you try and hold on to them, but sometimes holding on to a position when you know that you really shouldn't be fighting it is not good for the rest of the grid. And on lap 27, it showed itself here this evening. So now we move into the penultimate lap of the evening, and I think this could be how the race finishes. But Seb, I think, doing the right thing here, staying in behind Thomas for this lap 32. Wants to try and go for the lead on lap 33. Getting some cool air across that Aston Martin there through turn 3. Get ERS up. Do I have to? I don't like doing that. I really don't like doing that, but if you want the telemetry, there you go. Sending it start finish, I think. So here we go, couple of corners to go until we start the final lap of the evening. Is it going to be the man who's absolutely put on an amazing show this evening? for Aston Martin, or is it going to be Thomas who took qualifying? Here we go. It's through turn 14 for the second to last time here this evening, and this is the time now. Can Seb go for the attack into turn 1? He's using his ERS. He gets closer and closer and closer. Has a little look, but nothing's showing. He's done brilliantly here this evening as this Aston Martin driver. The Pacers look strong, but I tell you what, Thomas has had one hell of an opening race. He dominated. His qualifying was brilliant. The only driver into the 110s, narrowly, minutely, but he was still there. Still there. And this race, he has led every, well, not every lap, but he has led the majority of the laps. He has not looked back. Williams' team are going to be so proud of this man for the domination he has shown at Spain here this evening. It's been one hell of a drive from him. It's been a hell of a drive from a few drivers here this evening. Seb, Thomas, Knight, all deserving of these podium positions. But here he is, the Williams driver. He is round the final corner for the final time, and he wins the opening race of the season here at Spain for NA Tier 1 at Aers. And what a race we have just witnessed. It was absolutely electric. Brilliant up at the front. We had it all. We had the DRS train. We had people not being able to make moves. We've had contact. We have had it all. We've had side by side. I think there's one name that's going to probably be in the stewards a couple of times here this evening. Probably RW06, but I mean, that's just my opinion on how it looked at the end of the, you know, in those kind of moments. Wasn't his finest hour. He did have a good start to the race, but that second stint, I think the contact out of turn 1 really stayed in his head. No, it got changed because Bahrain were buggy. Bahrain, turn 4? Exit of turn 4? Not a good corner. But Williams going to be proud with this opening race of the season. Thomas, dominant through qualifying and the race, and well deserving of that top spot. Massive GGs to the team and to the driver. Absolutely brilliant. So there he is, your race winner. The fastest lap goes to Raganetto, but I think he actually DNF'd on track. AMR Dom with the driver of the day and your most overtakes. No cleanest driver. That's to be noted. No cleanest driver at all. Let's make sure we get all this information for Grumpy, so he can get it all if he does need it. But yeah, I think that was a really good opening race to the season. Obviously, lap 27 was when it all kind of fell apart. RW06 in those little bit of a moments. Don't quite know who was at fault for the contacts between himself and Quantum. But, I mean, we can only speculate. We can only speculate on that front. But, people, that is race 1 over. And like I said, absolutely brilliant. Massive GGs to Thomas, to Seb, to Knight. I mean, Knight with the undercut and managing to walk away with a podium. Absolutely brilliant result from him. Absolutely brilliant. I'm sure he's going to be happy with that one, and so is the AMS team. IRT going to be proud of Seb for the drive that he put on this evening. Absolutely phenomenal. Showed really good pace. Really, you know, really wanted to push. Had the pace to win it, I think. But Thomas just would not leave him alone and really did go for it. And we were treated up at the front to you know, two respectful drivers, knowing when they needed to swap, knowing that they just needed to race the race and try and go for it at the end there. But Thomas just had the edge and the pace, as he's shown in qualifying and pretty much all race long. So absolutely brilliant race from him. So we move on to next week. Sorry, wrong visual. And it will be China. And who's going to come out on top there are the drivers. Are we going to see a different person on that top step? Or are Williams and Thomas going to take another race victory? Are we going to see back-to-back race wins early on in the season? Who knows? We will find out next week, people. I would like to thank everybody this evening that's joined the chat, that has followed. Massively appreciate every single follow. And for everybody that's got involved in chat, really appreciate it. Thank you for joining us here on the Aers, the commentator channel. Until next week, people, have a great week and a weekend, and we will see you next time for China. Who comes out on top? Who knows? Williams had a great start. Aston Martin have had a good start, and so have Kick Sauber. Does the reign continue from Thomas? Join us next week to find out. Take care, have a great evening, and good night.